Are you a highly evolved person, an HEP? I think you are. If you dislike labels and boxes and categories and really would prefer not to be in a box, if you don't like the words highly evolved person, then you probably are. So, and highly evolved people have addictions. And in this video, I'm going to just talk a little bit about how our path of recovery might be a little different than many mainstream, in a 12-step program. I have nothing against the 12 steps. I've been in many rooms over many years. But there are things that don't fit for me around the 12 steps. And I've come to my own program basically around my addictions, everything from overeating to alcohol consumption, just wanting to latch on to a woman that I'm attracted to. These are patterns, they're addictions, and I have found some beautiful ways to work on them with myself. So I'm going to share them with you now. The first thing is to be aware that there's something called the chicken head syndrome, where where the chicken gets his head cut off, but it's still walking around. Its nervous system is still functioning for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. And for many of us, we've outgrown our addictions, but we're still doing it. And it's like the chicken head thing. For some reasons, we keep playing it out, even though another part of us has said, you know what, you're done with this. You can kiss it goodbye. So what are some of the reasons why we don't kiss it goodbye? One, it's familiar. And while we're expanding in different ways in our life, taking risks, opening up our heart, there's a lot of change. The ego is afraid of all the change. So it likes to come back to something familiar. It's grounding, it's comforting, it's soothing. So that's one thing. Why else? Again, while we may be expanding in a variety of ways, we can't do it all at the same time. There's always going to be, with expansion, contraction. And it brings us back to balance. It brings us grounding. So we consciously or unconsciously choose some dense behaviors to bring that grounding, to allow us to take a break from all the expansion that we're doing as souls. So what's your addiction? And do you use your inner critic to try to get you to get over it? As you know, that doesn't work. Many of us highly evolved people, when we're told that we should let go of something, that it's not good for us, that we've outgrown it and it's harmful, our first reaction is, you can't make me. Even if it's your internal critic telling you to let that go, to don't eat that cheesecake, your inner rebel, your free spirit, the pioneer that you are, doesn't like rules and regulations and wants to cherish your freedom to do whatever the hell you want. So it may direct you to compulsively continue the pattern that a part of you says, no, we're done. It's okay. So here are some tools. Mindfulness. Be aware and amused at this little dance going on inside you. Oh, I've outgrown this. I should let it go. I'm not letting it go. I love this. I'm going to keep going until oh no, highly evolved people don't smoke cigarettes. I don't understand why you're doing this. I'm doing it because I want you to shut up and leave me alone. So being mindful means that these two voices have an observer, a witness, compassionate listening to whatever's going on inside of you without trying to change the voices, without trying to change the behavior. Once you make changing the behavior your main priority, you miss out on an opportunity to learn more about unconditional love. Because what these addictions can teach us is how to love ourselves no matter what. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't think perfection is an opportunity that's available to us human beings. So we're always going to have to be in relationship with something that's not quite perfect or not quite right. So we might as well devote our time and energy to learning how to unconditionally love ourselves no matter what, in sickness, in health, in tobacco or colonics, in eating a healthy diet, but drinking lots of chocolate shakes, the paradoxes, the contrast, to just fall in love with it all and don't make it mean something about you. Don't be mean to yourself about the lesser evolved parts of you. So patience, my friends, unconditional loving kindness, and let go of the rules, the shoulds, I have to lose this amount of weight, I have to this, I have to that. We highly evolved people, we don't do well with rules because we're learning to access our still small voice, an intuitive GPS that doesn't have rules. It just has peace and enjoyment and amusement. So that's what I have to say this morning about addictions. They'll fall away. I've had so many addictions fall away, sometimes excruciatingly gradual, and sometimes, when I'm not looking, certainly when I'm not trying to fix them, they evolve and they mature. So, it's a juicy topic. As a life coach and a mentor, I deal with this all the time. So if you need or want some support, give me a call, drop me an email, and have fun. Have fun with your addictions. Just let them be. And they're your teachers. Certainly, they are inviting you to let go of shame and embarrassment and guilt and self-criticism, and to be curious about what drives you. I love you. Enjoy the day.